I have just a couple of things to share with you guys today. Some cards that I made and just a couple other things. One being these flowers. And these were, this is a wild orchid craft flower, but the rest of them are just the plain white paper recollection flowers. And all I did to alter these was I used my Tim Holtz distress markers and went around the edges. These I actually left white, but these here and then these three, I just went around the edges and just dabbed on a little bit of the distressed ink from the marker. And then I sprayed them with a little bit of water and kind of let the ink diffuse into the paper. And then I took some gesso and a paintbrush and just dabbed it in the gesso and kind of just splashed it on very messily and then dipped them in some glitter. Typically I'll also use some type of gloss medium, but this time I didn't, and I really like the way that they came out. They're glittery, but they're not, it's a little bit more subtle. So, but I really like the way I was actually making these three flowers to go with some beads that I'm using for a card, and I just really like the way that the distressed ink kind of faded into different spots. So I thought I would share that quick. They were super, super easy. When you're using just the gesso and not the gloss medium and you're dipping them in the glitter, you know, you do have to do it while it's still pretty quickly to really get the glitter into the gesso. And I just let them sit and dry, and then I put them in a colander, and I take them outside and shake them really good to get the excess glitter off, because you know, the gesso isn't really an adhesive like the gloss medium is, but the glitter will, you know, the glitter does stick to it. And again, you don't get like huge chunks of glitter. You get this little bit more subtle look. So I wanted to share those with you guys. And then I was just packaging up some little cards that I made, and before I sealed them up, I wanted to show them to you. So I made these two little 3x3 cards and strung these sequins on them, and I really like, they're just very simple cards, but I really like the way that the sequins came out, so I want to show you guys that really quickly. Let me do a close-up here for you. So I just love them. So really quick, just for the rest of the card, this is some white Bristol paper that I cut out with a die, and then I embossed it with these hearts, and then just wiped some Angel Pink Memento ink over the top, and just cut out this little heart, which is the same as the background paper, and put some Wink of Stella on that. So super, super simple. Put a little stamp on the inside. But to make the strung sequence, I mean, it's super, super easy, and I have some started here. I just want to show you a couple things about it. So this one, no, it's pretty solid. I have 3 on there. So it kind of bunches up as you're stringing it, but when you stretch it out and tape it to the card, you know, you can pull it. And once you get them on here, you can move the sequence back and forth. I mean, they're pretty tight, but you can move them to align them however you want. So basically you just take a sequence, it doesn't matter what side you start with, and you're gonna stick it through there with the needle, and then just come from the back side one more time. And then you can just slide it down. And the great thing too, and then again, see, it'll kind of bunch up like that, and then when you pull it tight, it'll straighten out. So the nice thing about being able to move those is once you adhere, you know, your strings on there, and you have them tight, you can use a pair of tweezers or, you know, any type of little piercing tool and put it in the middle of the sequence and move them up and down. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I have a feeling I'll be doing a little bit more of this. I was also thinking I need to go, my thread stash is upstairs for my sewing, but it would be really pretty with like some metallic thread and to string some sequins on there. So that's that. And then I am on a spending freeze for the most part. But I have allowed myself just a tiny bit of money. And it was so funny because yesterday I was saying, I don't even feel a need to go to the craft store. Which I haven't. I've been doing really good just because it's so serious that we save money right now. And that being said, a friend of mine had asked me to meet for coffee last night. And then once we got there, we actually had to travel back somewhere else. So I had like drove all this way, I felt like, for nothing. And there was an AC Moore there. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't go inside. But I did. And I bought one thing and it was $5. So I'm kind of okay with that. I do have a $20 limit per month. But I mainly want to share this for anybody else who is near an AC Moore. They have several really nice selection of 12 by 12 paper pads that are $5. They have some Teresa Collins ones, I believe some crate paper ones, some companies that I really enjoy. This one is, they're all American craft, and this one's the Amy Tangerine sketchbook. Not my typical style, but I really wanted this for like spring, and I might be doing some projects with some younger children. Not that it would have to be used for that, but I don't know. I think it's because it's January too, and it's like a little bit starting to get to be cabin fever time. This is super pretty. Also has some wonderful cutouts and vellum in it, so I wanted to share this with you. I will do a quick flip through. And this is, I'm sure, these are all a little bit older, but I really like all of the papers in it. And I don't buy a lot of 12 by 12 albums, albums. I love this cloud paper. And I love this color. This is one of my favorite colors. So I don't buy a lot of 12 by 12 pads, but I liked every single paper in here. So for $5, I took my pad and ran. I just thought this would be awesome for spring. So let me show you. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so you get this vellum piece, this one, this one, this one. You get a set of punch-out tags, and then you get a set of stickers that have very much a vellum-like texture to them. So for $5, and I don't really have like anything like this in my stash, I went ahead and bought this, and then went and had coffee with my girlfriend. So if you're buying AC Moore and you're in need of paper, you might want to go check out the sale that they're having on these 12 by 12 pads. And as far as our snowstorm, everybody was so disappointed. We were supposed to get 7 to 14 inches. We woke up this morning, there was not one flake on the ground, and Anya was extremely disappointed because she had to get up and go to school. But we are getting a little bit of snow now, but nothing like what they are getting further east. So, okay, you guys have a super great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.